Hey guys, Dr. Tim here with Dr. Mike. This is the last episode, probably for a while here, of the 5-minute Tele-Physio Talks, the longest title for the shortest interviews. We are here in Akron, Ohio, joined by Amanda Barnhart, who is a CrossFit athlete. Her accolades are pretty numerous, and I have a little laundry list here. She first competed in the CrossFit Games in 2018, where that was her first qualifier, and she was 15th overall. She then followed it up with a 7th place finish in the 2019 games and is currently training through COVID-19 and all of the protocols that go along with that for the 2020 CrossFit Games will be in August, maybe at the ranch possibly back out in California where everything started with Dave Castro. So we're pretty excited to have her on. She's one of the best athletes we know and one of the best athletes in the world. There's also some personal connections that I'll go over a little bit with Dr. Mike and myself here. I'll turn this over to Dr. Mike, and he will further intro Amanda and get these questions started.
All right. Very excited about this. I know we've had some of our athletes who we get to work with being pretty excited about it as well. So Amanda, I guess first question, tell us a little bit about who you are and, kind of tell us a little bit about your sport and what you do.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I grew up in Wadsworth, Ohio, so close to Mike and Tim, went to high school with them. Started CrossFit probably a little bit after college and has slowly become my sport and my livelihood. But yeah, it's basically, it's crazy how it's become like a career of mine. But those of you that don't know what CrossFit is, it's exercise, but there's a sport side to it too. So I always tell people like your grandma can do CrossFit, but what you see that I do in CrossFit is the 0.001%. So you don't have to be doing all of the crazy exercise parts. And what I love about it most is that, one, it's competitive now, but later in life, it's something that I will do forever to maintain health and longevity. So very near and dear to my heart.
And yeah, and that's obviously something that's been, at least competing, it's been something you've been doing for a while. If we talk about the connection, you and I swam together in high school. And then we actually swam together in college over at Cleveland State as well for a year. But so I guess at this point, obviously in light of COVID-19 and a lot of stuff going, how are you continuing to train? How are you continuing to stay healthy while you train?
So I'm training at my coach's house. He has a pretty good garage setup. We moved when we knew this was happening, the gym was shutting down. We took some equipment that we knew we could take over and made a pretty ideal setup. Like there's some movements you obviously can't do in a home garage gym, but yeah, my training feels pretty normal. It's just in a different location, but the layout's the same. The intensity is getting better now that I'm getting used to being in a new environment. And otherwise my routine's pretty much the same. I wake up, still continue to eat healthy, still continue to get good sleep, take care of my body. So it really, not much has changed for me from that perspective. It just feels and looks a little bit different, but my overall day-to-day is pretty much the same. And like staying healthy for me, from a COVID-19 standpoint, I obviously take precautions and am trying to follow all the rules and stay as healthy as possible. I wouldn't want to get sick and I don't want to get other people sick, but healthy standpoint with my body, that's something that I deal with every single day with training. Right now I'm training like 3 to 4 hours a day, which isn't a ton. And it's basically one long session that's kind of just jam-packed because I don't want to drive back and forth and commute for now. But so just staying on top of my stretching, my mobilizing. I'm super, super anal about. Typically, I do like short foam rolling just to feel good right before I start. And then I'm immediately wanting to sweat and get all my muscles activated. I don't spend a ton of time stretching at the beginning of my sessions because I don't think it benefits me. So I spend more time doing slow tempo work, all of the eccentrics, press over symmetry, whatever feels like it needs addressed that day. It changes day to day. I do spend a lot of time working on elbows, shoulders, knees, and hips because that's CrossFit. Then I spend more time stretching at the end of the day because that one helps me wind down, helps me feel better, sleep better. And I think just longevity wise helps with my joints. But that's pretty much my routine. I think people ask me a lot, like, do you stretch? Do you foam roll? I'm like, yeah, I do a little bit of everything. I don't necessarily rely on one thing. I think most of where my health comes from in CrossFit is learning to listen to my body. And I have a little bit of an advantage being a doctor of physical therapy. That helps a little bit.
Yes, for sure. Huge component of kind of listening to the body, what's important one day, what's important the other day. I guess, as a CrossFit athlete and as a good amount of CrossFit athletes who will be listening in on this, is there something in your mind that you are doing that's helping you stay healthy, that's helping you recover well? Do you have a little tidbit you'd want to share with some of those people who are listening and saying, okay, what do I need to be doing to stay healthy?
Number one, listen to your body. If you need a rest day, take a rest day. I think people are so anti-rest days. There is a lot of weeks that I take 2 full rest days. And when I say rest day, I don't go for a run. I don't get on the bike. I literally rest. And I think that a lot of people miss out on that and realizing how much better they can get if they actually take time off. Number 2 is food. Make sure you're eating enough carbs. I posted the other day on my Instagram how many carbs a day I eat, and people went nuts. They could not believe that I eat almost 500 grams of carbs a day. And I've just told you guys I'm training 3 or 4 hours a day. I'm not training 12 hours a day. Like, it's not crazy. You need to fuel your body. You need to feel good. And then sleep is the last thing. Like, you're not going to sleep good if you're not eating enough, first of all. And you're not going to sleep good if you're overtraining. So if you are having trouble sleeping, those are 2 things you need to look at. Like, do I need to take a rest day? Do I need to eat more? Because if you can't sleep through the night, that probably means you're doing something wrong. So paying attention to sleep, paying attention to food, and learning to listen to your body, those are the best things you can do to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Incredible. Well, Amanda, we thank you so much for checking in with us and chatting with us a little bit. I'll swing it back over to Tim and let him close us out. But thanks again for popping in and interviewing with us. It's pretty cool.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep. Thanks again, Amanda, for taking the time out of your day. Again, if you guys have any specific questions or want to follow Amanda, I believe her Instagram is at Amanda J. Barnhart.
Yep, that's it.
And I really want to thank you for being on the show today. It makes our life easy to have an athlete like you come in here who's a doctor of physical therapy. You can drop some knowledge bombs, both from the professional athlete perspective and the rehab specialist perspective too. So thanks again for that. Talk to you guys soon, and looking forward to watching the 2020 CrossFit Games and seeing you out there.
Thank you.